Hello and welcome to TA for Traders. In this video we're going to look at the 5 minor currencies. On the US dollar against the Canadian dollar we'll see that it's at resistance. New Zealand dollar against US, it's back to support. Pound against the euro, we're slightly negative. Aussie dollar against the yen, it's at the bottom of an uptrend. And on the euro Swissy, still looking slightly negative, but watch out for the upside. Right, so let's start with the US dollar against the Canadian dollar. Just take my screen to be big for you. There we go. And as you can see, we've had a move up back through the 200-day, which is a positive because it's moving upwards. But we're now hitting the resistance of the downtrending 50-day moving average. Seeing slight positive momentum on the RSI and the MACD also slightly positive. So if anything, expect this 50-day moving average at 132 to be tested. That will be a downward influence. I wouldn't expect an immediate push back up through there. Above there, the resistance is just above the 133 level. So at resistance, not such a negative picture. If anything, looks like it could go higher. And as I said, test that 50-day moving average. On the longer term, you can see that there's a lot of resistance, as I said, initially at 133, but then right up to 135. Market's come back and has actually got support here from the 50-week moving average, and would get resistance from the 20-week moving average. No real indicator from the long-term chart of where we're going to go, but looking back at the 1 day, as you can see, that's why I'm just immediately looking for a positive move there. On the support resistances to watch, resistance at 132.10 and 133.89, and the supports 130.51 and 129.81. On the New Zealand dollar, we are probably likely to pull back to support here. Immediately, we've got the downtrending 20-day moving average as a negative influence on the markets, and then in the support, we've got, as you can see, the uptrending 50-day just about to come up to the uptrending 200-day, which is the red line. When they cross, that will be a positive sign. Not immediate upside potential from that, but it will give a solid support level if the market came down. And the 200-day at the moment is at 0.7143 and the 50-day 7128. So expect those to cross in 5 to 10 days. On the upside, the market's got to get through the 20-day. That's presently at 0.7222. If it could get above there and hold above there for a couple of days, then we'd probably see a push onto the resistance of 0.73. The range trade here is probably likely to persist. On the longer term chart, you can see the range, and you can see actually how short term it's been in a longer term weekly picture. So expect that to continue longer. Here the support's coming in at the 20-week moving average and the 50-week moving average, 0.7121, 0.7081. Expect those to hold. If anything, as I said, expect the upside resistance to be tested. On the support resistances, Resistance 0.7247, 0.7376, which I've mentioned, and then on any downside, support 71.30 and 71.28. On the pound against the euro, I'm slightly negative. The 200-day moving average here is a big negative influence. I mean, obviously, it's been negative for quite some time. We've bounced up to that level over the last few months, but as you can see, the market's finding it difficult to hold any level above there. The 50-day as well, even though we're above it, it's still downtrending, so it's still a negative influence. And the 20-day is just going sideways and will start to roll over quite shortly. So the picture here could deteriorate down the road if we don't hold above the 20-day, in that the 20-day will roll, 50-day is going down, and we'll get a bearish cross. But we're talking maybe a week or two away for that. The immediate concern to me is this 200-day moving average on the downs, pushing the market down. If you saw the supports just below 116.4, around this 116.45 level, if that failed, you'd then see a support at the 116. RSI, bit neutral, 51.33, actually showing no momentum, either up or down, and the MACD also going completely sideways and giving no indication for momentum there. On the weekly picture, you can see here that we're actually getting support from the 20-week moving average and the resistance from the 50-week. It looks like it probably will trend between the two, if anything. So going back to the daily, slightly negative, immediate influences, but from the weekly, if it can hold these levels, it could start to look a bit better a week or two down the road. On the support resistance levels, resistance at 119 and 120.40, and support at 116.40 and 115.69. Moving on to the Aussie dollar the euro against the Swissy. Oh no, so we're Aussie dollar against the Japanese yen. Sorry about that. Here I've drawn this uptrend line, and this needs to be held basically. We're getting support from the uptrend in 20-day and the uptrend in 50-day. I mean, actually, the 50-day is on the uptrend at the moment. Excuse me, at 85.82. 20-day at 85.57. Market 86.26. Above there. They should hold for the immediate short term. Traders will be looking at these levels and using them actually as entry points, as we saw yesterday. So on any further downside, expect to tick up. If this gets broken, this trend line, you would expect to see the supports at the 83.76 level tested. On the weekly, you can see it's just kind of a rolling pattern. We had a push up and then a consolidation, then a push up, and it's just rolling down. They haven't really tested the downside like they did do back in December. So they may want to do that. The immediate support would be from the 20-week, which is at 84.24. If that was tested, expect further downside. Again, looking at the daily, this is the key level. Just keep your eye on that trend line. Obviously, on my next update, I will be that line will still be there, and we'll be looking at that. Sorry, on the support resistance levels on the Aussie JPY, support at 85.817 and 84.243. Okay, moving on to our final chart for today, and that is the euro against the Swissy. Overall still negative. Perhaps we should start warning about potential upside after yesterday's move, because it broke the short-term downtrend. The moving averages, because of the movements, are still going down, but we've gone through the 20-day. We're now coming up towards the 50-day at 106.92. If that gets broken, it could be indicative that we're seeing a base forming pattern. Hard to see on the weekly because of the move. Obviously, when they went off their float, but it could be a bottoming picture. Also, the RSI showing increasing upside momentum, and the MACD increasing upside momentum, just starting to diverge, which is a positive signal. And the RSI, even though it's back below 50, 47.25, is showing an uptrend. So the momentum is building to the upside. So for a speculative trade, it's worth looking at this for an eventual push up to 107.50 if it does break above the 50-day. If it dips down below the 20-day 106.58, it could test the supports again. So a bit of a mixed picture. Trend is your friend, and just really can't really say anything else. It is one of those. If it goes up, it's going up, and if it goes down, it's going down. So watch it very closely. At the moment, I wouldn't think about taking a position. If anything, you buy a straddle and just wait to see which way the break is, and not be concerned. Then you don't need your directional trend to be right. Support resistance is on the screen now. Resistance at 106.6920, and then the first support at 106.6302. So, thanks for watching this second video today from TA for Traders. I'll be back tomorrow when I'll be looking at the commodity markets. Thank you for watching, and please do look at the disclaimer that's coming on the screen.